Bloke takes washing line to Liam Gallagher gig after hilarious camping chair mix-up.
Slim Jim. James Argent looks slimmer than ever as he leaves star-studded Soccerade after party with two mystery women.
How many episodes are in Pistol on Disney Plus?
Amouranth pulls in a huge Twitch audience for first Streamer Royale. Hello and welcome to Barely Contained, the podcast that has the same love-hate relationship with showbiz journalism that Elon Musk has with Twitter. I'm Chris Beckett and I'm joined as ever by Matt Withers. Matt, hello.
Hello there, Chris. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I am not too shabby. Thank you very much.
Good. What delights have we in store today?
Well, I'm going to bring you a story from the pages of the Daily Star online. It's by Layla Nicholson, and it's headlined, "Bloke takes washing line to Liam Gallagher gig after hilarious camping chair mix-up."
Wow. It's the story they all wanted.
Well, you say that, Chris, but it does begin exclusive. So it's the one they all wanted, but only Layla got it.
I like to imagine that she, for a few hours, she had to sort of sit in a hotel room with the washing line just to make sure that no one else got in contact.
Yeah. Right. So it says hilarious camping chair mix-up in the headline. I would say that hilarious is quite subjective here. I think you, the listener, be the judge as to how hilarious this is. So here we go. Exclusive. Paul Bennett travelled 3 hours all the way from the Isle of Wight to watch Liam Gallagher play at Nebworth, but realised he'd taken his washing line with him by accident. Oh, Lordy. Do you remember the days where if somebody rang up a national newspaper and said, "I've got a story for you, I accidentally took my washing line to a gig," the phone would have been put down on you. And now they slap an exclusive on it.
Yeah, now they probably ring you.
Yeah. Okay. A bloke has also a bloke. We used to say a man.
Yeah.
A bloke has left people crying with laughter after he mistakenly took another household object instead of a camping chair all the way to a concert and only realised when he got there.
Shock.
Spoiler alert, the other household object is the washing line because that was in the headline. Paul Bennett, 50, got up at the crack of dawn to journey 3 hours to Nebworth so he could watch Liam Gallagher play the Saturday show with his 2-night residency at the iconic venue.
Now, hang on, I'm calling bullshit on this. I mean, when was he due on? Was he due on at like 9:30 a.m.?
That is absolutely true. Even in his middle-aged years, I imagine that Liam Gallagher probably doesn't take to the stage before 9 p.m. So quite why he had to get up at the crack of dawn, unless he had to drop something off at his grandmother's in Sunderland on the way.
Hang on, don't spoil next week's story.
Wanting to be prepared for when he and his daughter, Keisha Bennett, finally got to the Hertfordshire-based location, which is an odd turn of phrase, Paul grabbed what he thought was a camping chair out of his camper van at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So many questions in this story. The father-daughter duo set off from the Isle of Wight, first taking a ferry and then took a long drive to the historical park where the Manchester rock legend was playing 2 nights for the bank holiday weekend. However, it wasn't until Paul and Keisha reached the venue that he realised something was not quite right.
Yeah, he was 12 hours early. Father-daughter duo.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could have been like the original Nebworth when they did have about 8 support acts on each day. Did you go to either of the Oasis Nebworths?
I didn't know.
I was at the Saturday. And one of the first support acts was the Chemical Brothers, an act I would say not suited to around 2:00 in the afternoon.
No.
And the amount of men around me, their fury at this duo who did not have guitars made of wood was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Slightly longer than normal hair.
Anyway, instead of packing the camping chair that he thought he grabbed, Paul accidentally brought his washing line. And then it says, yes, you read that right.
Yep.
The Liam Gallagher fan, that goes without saying, the Liam Gallagher fan exclusively spoke to the Daily Star about his hilarious mix-up, which has now caused him to go viral on Facebook.
Has it now? I mean, what? I mean, I'm not going to, but I imagine it's probably, 20 likes or something. Counts as going viral these days.
Yeah, I'd guess so. I mean, let's stick on to find how on earth somebody confuses a chair with a washing line. Paul explained, we travelled from the Isle of Wight and it took around 3 hours with the car ferry at 6 a.m. Oh, that answers your question.
All right, yep.
I went to my camper van at 5:30 a.m. and grabbed a loose chair and what I thought was the other chair in a blue case to put in the other van I was taking. I didn't realise until we got to Nebworth. We had set the tent up in the campsite and opened the case to sit down and have a beer and realised it was a washing line.
I mean, I see the picture and I can see how it happens.
Yes, it kind of looks like an upside down chair when it's all wrapped up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, hilarious. And it seemed like the clothesline managed to get a good night's sleep before its long journey back. Two grammatical errors in that one sentence. The night should have an apostrophe but doesn't. It shouldn't have an apostrophe but does.
Well, I'm still looking at the caption above, which applied to a picture of Paul with his washing line says, well, they do say a gig isn't a gig without a washing line in hand, right?
Yep. That's what they say.
Yep.
The washing line stayed in the tent overnight and would have come in handy the following morning had the rain stopped, but sadly not, Paul noted. According to Keisha, the line luckily made it back in one piece and without a sore head. She joked, the funny thing was we had to carry it all the way back, but it made it in one piece.
Well, that's not the funny thing. I mean, it would have been funnier if they'd broken it, surely. Or if it had got drunk somehow, which they seem to be hinting.
Although Paul was left chairless at the gig, he and his daughter have been left giggling at the situation ever since.
Ever since.
He said, it's been a great response. We've laughed about it all weekend and are still laughing now. But for me and my daughter, Keisha, it's made our weekend.
I have a vision of the two of them. Did you ever used to watch Police Squad?
Yes.
The bit where they just freeze and they just keep laughing.
Yeah. We both had an amazing weekend. Liam Gallagher was incredible. And the icing on the cake would be a comment from the biblical, celestial, majestical, approachable, humble Liam Gallagher.
Wow, there really is no quotes that people will edit out anymore, is there?
No. And also, these people are obviously so desperate to get a tweet from him mentioning it. It's the equivalent of those kids that you constantly see at football matches on TV now with a crappy homemade sign saying, De Bruyne, can I have your shirt, please?
Yeah.
Beggy, as I believe the young people say.
Beggy.
Keisha originally posted a snap of Paul busting out the washing lines with its deceiving blue bag on Facebook. She shared, only my dad would carry this all the way to Nebworth for Liam Gallagher thinking it's a camping chair. Turns out it's actually a washing line. I think we kind of get the gist of this story now, don't we?
She needs an editor.
Not only have the father and daughter found it funny, Many people have left chuckling at Paul's misfortune. One person commented, OMG, this is actually hilarious. Another user giggled, legend. Whilst a third person voiced, knowing me, I'd end up doing this instead of taking the tent. Someone else shared, actually crying laughing at this. Meanwhile, a fifth user chuckled, I'm crying. Well, it sounds like the washing line had a good weekend.
What the hell? What's the washing line got to actually do with it at the end?
There's a kind of
trying to make it drunk. It's like a really bad script idea for a sitcom. It's like, oh, we've introduced this weird concept into this episode. How are we going to mine it for more laughs? Should we make the washing line drunk? Should we suggest that it's a human?
I've always said, Chris, that if you're going to anthropomorphize a washing line, you've got to go all in. You know, you can't hint at it. This guy's got to have a fully rounded personality.
Well, you know, leaves me cold.
Now, Chris, it's been a while since we talked about James Argent, but he's back in the news.
He certainly is. And this story is by Amanda Devlin, and the headline, Slim Jim. James Argent looks slimmer than ever as he leaves star-studded Soccer Aid after party with two mystery women.
Interest is piqued.
James Argent was spotted leaving Soccer Aid's star-studded after party with two mystery women. Arg looked slimmer than ever as he headed home from the event in the back of a cab. He does look slimmer than I've seen him before.
He looks slimmer than I've seen him before. He'll probably get bigger again and then smaller again. I mean, it's kind of his shtick, isn't it?
Yeah. The 34-year-old lost a staggering 14 stone after being told by doctors his obesity could cause him to die. Former Towie star Arj has kept fans updated with his progress and recently admitted that doctors had ordered him to put some weight back on.
Doctors, get your mind up.
Yeah. He told The Sun back in February, the only problem now is that I've lost a little bit too much weight and I need to put on half a stone. He laughs. Everyone thinks it's hilarious. We didn't think we'd ever be in this situation, but it's one thing or another with me. That's just me.
I'm intrigued as to how this story progresses, Chris.
Well, you scroll down and there's a picture of James as he used to look before losing the weight. And that's it.
That is it.
I feel this might be almost, it feels like there's more to it than meets the eye here. Like that this is a story that they'd given a work experience to write. And then they'd left in a huff and decided they weren't coming back in the next day.
Yeah, well, I did that once upon a time. Yeah, we don't know anything about these mystery women who've only just been slightly hinted at. We are told, as a matter of fact, that the party was star-studded, yet we only know one person who was in attendance.
Well, exactly. And is it, I mean, he's looking slimmer than ever. He's looking good. I mean, he's lost 14 stone. That's it.
Yeah.
What else is going on? It is a brief one. Right, Matt. What have you got for us?
Well, I have got a story of a sort from the Express Online. It's by Neela Debnath, and it's headlined, How many episodes are in Pistol on Disney Plus?
I mean, this on paper could be clocking in, you'd think, less than the Argent story.
I mean, theoretically, it could be answered with a single figure.
Yeah.
But Chris, it is not answered with a single figure.
No.
So it begins. Pistol is going to be arriving on Disney Plus this week. But how many episodes are in the new series about the punk rock band, the Sex Pistols? Disney Plus is dropping an edgy new series for grown-ups focusing on punk rockers, the Sex Pistols, with Oscar winner Danny Boyle on direction duties. The show will immerse audiences in the rock and roll revolution of the 1970s and the meteoric rise of the band, Express.co.uk takes a look at the forthcoming series, including the episode count and story.
Well, firstly, I'm glad that it's a series for grown-ups as opposed to the
animated adventures of Sid Vicious.
Much discussed. yeah, exactly. That classic children's character, Sid Vicious. Yeah. And it's focusing on the rock and roll revolution of the 70s and the meteoric rise of the band, as opposed to Johnny Lydon's later foray into Country Life butter commercials.
Yeah. And also the rock and roll revolution of the 1970s will come as a revelation to the lights of, Chuck Berry.
Indeed.
The next headline: how many episodes are in Pistol on Disney Plus? Pistol is based on the 2017 memoir Lonely Boy, Tales from a Sex Pistol by the band's guitarist and founding member Steve Jones. The show will chart the rise of the band as the Sex Pistols kicked off the punk revolution, taking viewers on an emotional journey through music history. Following the band from their humble beginnings as a group of working class kids, Pistol sees them eventually taking on the establishment through music and threatening to topple the government in the process. What? Now, I can only imagine that some artistic license has been taken if this is the case.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
I mean, we were both quite young, but we know our history, and I do not recall when Margaret Thatcher's government almost tumbled because of a bunch of blokes who couldn't play guitars properly. The show promises Pistol will be a kaleidoscopic telling of three of the most epic, chaotic, and mucus-splattered years. There will be a total of 6 episodes in Pistol, which were dropped today in one go on Disney Plus in the UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore.
Done.
It's 6, so you can wrap up there. Obviously, it doesn't. We're told when it's going to premiere on Hulu in America, when it's going to arrive in Latin America on Star Plus, because the Express Online widely read in Latin America. As Pistol is a limited series, it will be a one-off, it tells us. And then basically a very lengthy list of all the people who are going to be in it. And honestly, it goes on and on, Chris, and on 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 and on.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's not very punk, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah. Learn 3 chords and form a band. That's how it should be.
Exactly. Just 150 words.
Yep. I'll tell you who has got a punk ethos when it comes to showbiz journalism, and that's Amanda Devlin of the Sun, when she's writing about Argent's weight loss.
Yeah, well, exactly. She won't leave you hanging on.
Now, finally, Chris, we're going to look at an area of modern day show business that we've never touched on before, and I suspect we're not going to understand. This is a story about Amouranth, who I don't know who that is, pulling in a huge Twitch audience, which I don't know what that is, for first Streamer Royale, which I have no idea what it is. Are you able to fill me in?
No, but I can tell you it was written by Joel Loynes.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it is a good name, isn't it? Headlined Amouranth pulls in a huge Twitch audience for first Streamer Royale. Amouranth, Twitch streamer and e-girl, has begun to change course in her career, with the Streamer Royale being her first major venture.
No, I don't know what any of that means, Chris.
E-girl? What's an e-girl?
I don't know what an e-girl. Do you know what a Twitch streamer is?
I do, actually. I do.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to break ranks, but yes, it's a little, way of recording yourself on social media.
Oh well.
Little videos.
Should we be dipping our toes into Twitch?
We could, we could do this. We could do this on video, and I'm sure we'd get literally dozens of viewers.
Well, that would be an uptick.
Yeah. After announcing that she would be leaving OnlyFans and investing more into productions for Twitch, Amouranth has finally begun to pull the trigger on the plan just a few days before her departure from the lewd website.
The lewd website.
It's lewd. The Streamer Royale was a 5-hour live event featuring multiple personalities from Twitch and YouTube, pitting them against each other in various events to see who would come out on top. It gives a great insight into Amouranth's plans for her investment in productions for the future.
I don't think we said which publication this was from, did we? This is from the Metro.
Yeah, this is from the Metro, yeah. Which obviously, does have quite a detailed sort of tech section. But some of this stuff is absolute nonsense. Meowry, a streamer in the same vein as Amouranth, came out on top, besting the likes of Moist Critical and Alinity. She helped bring in a viewership of over 25,000 concurrent viewers throughout the event.
Yeah, Moist Critical is one of my favourite Twitch streamers.
Yeah, you never know what she's going to do next.
I mean, do we know what these events are that they're competing in?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I imagine. I mean, the usual sort of Twitch thing is being filmed playing some sort of video game,
like Rick Dangerous 2 for the Commodore 64,
probably, or maybe Frogger.
Horace Goes Skiing.
Exactly. I like the use of concurrent as well, which I don't know about you, but it takes me back to my media law days.
Yeah.
That sentencing. At the top of the event, Amouranth commentators for Streamer Royale did point out that none of the participants actually knew what was going to happen during the day. They are not the only ones. Some suspected gaming-centric activities, but it was actually more in line with a total wipeout or Takeshi's Castle scenario. Contestants took part in things like Gladiator's Duel, where 2 big cushion sticks are given to the streamers to knock each other down as fast as possible.
Well, now you're talking our language.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Get some Gladiators references in.
Get John Fashanu down there. Awooga.
Yeah, Awooga. There were also other games like finding flags in a big inflatable covered in bubbles, a direct reference to Amouranth's hot tub streams.
What? Direct reference.
While the event was certainly different from other streamer-focused competitions happening that weekend, it did bring in a 25,000 concurrent viewership with very few drops during the stream. Streamer Royale was, oddly, sponsored by Fansly, a direct competitor to Amouranth's main moneymaker, OnlyFans. Despite saying that she's leaving the adult content world behind in June, this hasn't stopped her from using other brands to further her own.
What?
Exactly. Some streamers like XQC didn't show. Oh, sorry, Matt. Your favourite.
Oh, God. But XQC, otherwise notoriously punctual XQC.
Yeah. Didn't do their performance of centres working overtime, though.
Oh, lovely stuff.
But the response has been very positive and looks to be the right step forward in Amouranth's larger scale plan. Exactly why XQC ended up being a no-show, despite being invited, is not clear, but he was playing slots at the same time as the event streamed, which is going to cause more speculations about his problems with gambling addiction.
Playing slots. In my mind, XQC is like on Blackpool Promenade doing those ones where you have to drop the coins down while the things below move backwards and forwards.
Or guessing which horse is going to win the race.
Yeah, the Donkey Derby.
I mean, that's how the story ends, and I'm absolutely none the wiser.
No, I genuinely have no idea what any of those words meant. No.
But if you scroll down, to Metro's Join the Discussion forum, you'll see no comments and a note saying commenting on this article has ended.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just says it all.
Yeah, I think this will be our first and last delve into the world of e-girls and Twitch streaming.
Yeah, probably fair enough.
Well, with that, we should probably wrap it up, Chris.
Amouranth, if you are out there and you want to get in contact with us, then you can get us on social media.
Yes. Why do you not tell Amouranth whereabouts she can find us?
Well, I mean, she might consider it a bit retro, but we're on Facebook, Barely Contain the Podcast, or she could maybe go across to Twitter at barely_pod and see us there. But, no doubt she's too busy, on Fansly or hanging around with XQC or, Sweat Digital or whatever chums are called.
Also, Chris, can you find us on any lewd websites?
I don't think so.
No, we are not.
I haven't checked.
We are not on any lewd websites.
No, rest assured, we are wholesome entertainment.
Wholesome fare for the whole family. Great. So yeah, absolutely. Get up with us on the legacy socials. And of course, as I always say, do rate us and subscribe us on your podcatcher of choice, whatever you're listening to us now on, whether that be Spotify or Google or Amazon or whatever floats your boat. And yep, sign up, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your e-girls about us.
Tell your e-girls, but don't ever, whatever you do, confuse a washing line for a camping chair.
Do not do that. Do not do that, listeners. Chris, we'll be back very soon, won't we?
Hey, we will. It's been a pleasure as always, Matt. Thank you very much. And thanks, listeners.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.